Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody out. Rudy's does it every time. The under and over on Rudy's, I think, is what, 5? Yeah, 5? Yeah. Well, we definitely want to emphasize the concept of selling out the Sun Bowl this weekend, and it's something real important to our athletic department, our football team, our university, our community. It's and you guys, I want to thank everyone for promoting that idea too, because I hear a lot and read a lot of things about that come from you that are your ideas about, hey, here's our chance, let's prove it. Everyone talks about, you know, big time football in the Sun Bowl and everything, and here's an opportunity to be up close and personal for, you know, a family pack of $198 is almost $8 a ticket, so it's just as cheap as going to a movie. So there should be no excuses why we're not sold out. Season tickets are still on sale, and that's a great value. That family pack is a great value. General admission tickets are just $60 for youth and $90 for adults. And we still have around 14,000 tickets left. So I think we're on track for our goal. And again, I want to take this time to thank you for emphasizing it on your radio shows and TV shows and media and newspaper and internet and all that, because I know that you care the same way we do, that football is successful, sports are successful. It's your life, it's my life, it's what it's all about. So, we certainly want to make a great impression on television, a chance to showcase our football team, a chance to showcase our university, and yet really a chance to showcase El Paso and the football fans of El Paso. And whether you went to school here or not, it doesn't matter. You're a Miner fan. If you live in El Paso, you're a Miner fan. If you didn't go to college, you're a Miner fan. If you went to the Longhorns, you're a Miner fan. You're not going to miss an opportunity to support your team. And it's important to University of Texas El Paso is so important to this community. Just so many events here just fold back and forth. Our football team has been, I think, on 5 events now where we have intermixed with the community, with our boosters, with just regular fans, with kids. 5 major activities that we have done where it's been the football team and the fans, the football team and the people from El Paso. So our players really feel that support and know how important it is. It makes it mean a little bit more to them, when they know that. And at some places, that's not the way it is. You just don't get a chance to be up close and personal to football players. And since we've come back from Socorro, we've given our players that opportunity. We're healthy. We're ready to go. We had a great practice last night. We had a lot of activities going on yesterday. Obviously, today's the first day of school. We won't have practice. We never have practice on the first day of school. We really emphasize that you have your books, you have your class schedule, you're up, you're ready to go, you're in class on that first day to make a good first impression and to start the semester out the right way. But we will have to practice tomorrow morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week at 7:30 in the morning, and then a closed practice to the press at 3 here in the stadium. And obviously you can come before that and get interviews there afterwards. So that's the schedule for the week. Those practices in the morning are open to the public. Kind of interesting how we don't quite get as many of you up there at that practice at 7:30 as we used to at 3:30 in the afternoon, but We didn't do that for any special reason. You just don't show up like you used to. But let's just go ahead and open up for questions.
How do you compare just the way you guys are going on this game to the Texas game in 2008? Is it similar feeling?
Similar feeling. Comparing this game to the Texas game when we brought Texas here, I would think it's going to be very similar. I'd also, I forgot to mention this, but I'd like to commend Dr. Natalicio and Bob Stoll on the changes that they've also made, not just the football staff, but the changes that we've made in the tailgating procedures, all the fun activities they're going to have on campus for student athletes and for students and for families and for children. And it's going to be a great day of tailgating. So we've loosened up the restrictions and made it much more fan-friendly, our tailgating procedure and everything. So we've done a lot. It should be fantastic. That Orange River Festival, what they're having, what's it called? Orange River Fiesta is a great idea. Orange Fever Fiesta. It sounded like a great idea until I messed it all up. Sounds like a lot of fun. I was planning on going there for a while. But it's real similar to Texas. I guess we'll get the feel from Minor Palooza on Friday night. Because we had, I think, 30,000 people here for Minor Fiesta when we played Texas. It would be great to have that many people again for the Friday night pep rally that we have on campus. I'd say real similar. No bad practices. What's been impressive to me this year? No bad practices. Every practice has been a good one. Haven't had to get on the kids, get them going. Like sometimes it's like going to the dentist, and feel like you're pulling a tooth out, getting kids to get ready for practice and do the right things. But man, these guys has something to do with the character of our team, has something to do with the chemistry of our team. They did such a great job in the off season. I always say that, but this is the truth. They really did a great job. We have really good people leading our team, not just 2 or 3 guys. Dakota feels great today. Just saw him. So we'll just see how he did. Steve Valdez, however, did do a very nice job last night in kicking field goals and kickoffs and that kind of thing.
What about
Devin
Devin Patterson?
Patterson is out for the game. Devin Patterson and Trenton Jenkins are out for this game. They both have concussions. And that's probably one of the biggest emphases. It's not necessarily a rule. I was asked on a radio show this morning what I thought the biggest rule change was. And there's not any real major thing. Bringing the ball out the 25-yard line on kickoffs, kicking off from the closer and all that kind of thing, or we'll change kickoffs a little bit. But I think one of the major concerns of football in general is the concussion issues that are coming to light, and just the way that we handle concussions. It's a lot different. It's a lot safer. It is a good thing. It just is completely different than it has been in the past. Devin had didn't look like a very bad concussion. It doesn't have to look like a bad concussion. Trenton Jenkins is huge guy. It wasn't. We don't really even actually know how he did it, how he got his concussion. But as long as there's any symptoms at all, or they take the impact test, they will be held out until they're recovered. So there's no, and everyone's different.
Well, you mentioned one of the changes. What about the other two changes? I guess it's called safety rules also where you go where doesn't play the block or if the player loses his helmet, he has to be taken out of the game.
Yeah, I don't know what was with helmets nowadays because they just seem to come off more than ever. Last year we had a rash of incidents where helmets came off players, and we got the helmet company to send in a representative and again go over, teach our players and our managers and everyone how to put on the helmet, how to strap it on safely, and it really didn't seem to help. I don't know why they have that many helmets, but if your helmet comes off, you're immediately supposed to stop and you're not involved in the play at all, and you have to leave the field. So that'll be different. And then the jumping over the blockers to get to the punter. You know, we put, now we're going to some big offensive linemen, big guys standing back there in front of the punter and crashing through them and trying, almost impossible to get to the punter. Now that they used to jump over the top of them and try to reach, and that you can't do that. But they also can't cover as well from that formation. So and then the other rule is, it's not the halo rule, but they're going back to the fact that you have to give a guy a chance to catch the ball, and you have to be a yard away from him. On each side, here to here, it's kind of a half halo now, to get away from guys getting just creamed on punt returns. And then the other rule is on onside kicks, surprise onside kicks, where the kicker hits the ball and goes boom down and bounces way up in the air, and then everybody just creams the guy waiting to catch it because it's hit the ground, he can't fair catch it. Now he can fair catch it. So that almost eliminates that onside kick from being one that we would, all you gotta do is fair catch it and they can't hit you. You had a question right there. Would I like to talk about Oklahoma? I can talk a lot about them. Do I want to? No. Oklahoma has no weaknesses. We have not found a soft spot in a team where you think maybe we can exploit this. Golly, they're weak in this area. They might have a special teams area that's weak or nothing. They're just solid right across the board. Depth, everything. They do a really outstanding job offensively, putting their game plan together. Their quarterback from just up the road here threw for 4,400 yards last year, and they still can run the ball. They're a running football team. They really are. They're a running football team, but they make their big plays with the pass and play action pass. They had a couple receivers that were suspended and immediately recruited an outstanding community college player from Eastern Mississippi Community College, and one of the best receivers in the country, and the kid from Penn State. So where they had maybe a little bit of question mark at the wide receiver, they replaced it, boom, boom, with two of the best in the country. So offensive line solid. They're just solid. Well coached. A lot of respect for what Bob Stoops is as a man, as a person. He's a real good guy and a real good coach, and he treats his players right. You don't hear people griping about treatment at Oklahoma or anything like that. They're on top of everything. The whole department is well run by the athletic director, and it's a quality program. I couldn't quite hear that. What am I hoping to see from our team against Oklahoma? Well, I'm hoping to see for us, this sounds a little simple, but I'm a little simple. I'm hoping to see us align properly, play with 11 players on the field all the time, not 10, not 12, for us to come off the ball all together at one time with no offsides penalties, to line up and know who we have to cover, what gap we're responsible for, where the ball's going, who we're supposed to block, when we're supposed to block them, know our plays, run them effectively, and run in the right direction. I want us to have minimal mental errors. Minimal errors. Now, if we get run over, we get run over by a guy. He's bigger and stronger than us, fine. If some guy outruns us because he's faster, he outruns us. There's nothing we can do about that. But we better know who has him, and we better be covering the right guys. So that's what I'm looking for and hoping for our players. I know that they will play with emotion. I know that they will play with enthusiasm. I know they will play with toughness. I know they'll play with desire. I know that they will run and hit, and I know how excited they are, as well as you people are. But I want to make sure that we do the things that got you there, and that's basic fundamental football. If you can't block the guy, at least you're attempting to block the right guy. If you can't cover the guy, if he's faster than you and run by you, at least you're covering. At least you know who you're supposed to cover. We get that right, we got a chance. We got a chance. We hang on the football. We don't turn the football over. We have a chance.
You're, I guess, on their third season of defensive.
Right.
What have you noticed about the progression of defense?
This is Andre's third, our defensive coordinator, his third season, and I have noticed a lot of progress with our team. Our players are very, very confident in his ability to call a game, to manage a game, to put our players in the right place. That's what he's hired to do, and he's real good at it. He's real good at making game adjustments. Believe it or not, he did a tremendous job last year in our first game. We were expecting Stony Brook to come out in a certain offense, and we didn't see it at all. And so at halftime, he kind of changed what we were doing and changed it for the right reasons. And then we did the same thing on offense. We came out thinking we were going to do something, and it didn't work, and we went to opening it up and throwing the ball more and made some real adjustments. So he's really a good coach from that, and the players believe in him. I think it's just them believing and buying into his system, and he's a good salesman and a good teacher. Actually, he asked a question about Coach Stoops' brother coming back from Arizona to help coordinate the defense there at Oklahoma. Mike Stoops will be now working on defense along with Coach Kish, who was Mike Stoops' defensive coordinator at Arizona. So what it's done for us, it's just given us, another 24 games, 25 games to look at. So we've looked at all of Arizona's defensive games and all of Oklahoma's defensive games to see what similarities they might have. And I think it looks to me like they'll probably do a little bit less on defense than they did last year, a little bit more basic. But I don't know what that base is going to be. It could be anything. So we don't have any idea what they're really going to run, because I haven't seen. They lost their defensive coordinator. He did a lot of different things last year. It's a combination between Coach Bobby Stoops' defense and Mike Stoops' defense and Kish's defense. So, but it's not always the X's and O's in football. It's the Jimmies and the Joes, the guys who are doing it. So you have to match what you know and what your scheme is with your players, and that's a real key.
Trying to stay healthy, you use maybe a bigger rotation.
I think trying to stay healthy tends to a way to stay healthy is to rotate players early rather than late. Because once you lose your energy or lose your wind, how fast you regain it depends on what kind of shape you're in. And we're in pretty good shape, so we'll regain it quickly. But I think once you kind of lose it, it takes a while sometimes to regain your wind and get the momentum going back. So if we can splinter in substitutes throughout the entire game, beginning at the beginning of the game, keep a rotation, have a plan going in. This kid's going to play these 3 plays in this first quarter. This guy's going to play 5 plays in the second quarter. This player's going to play 7 plays. Then you keep your guys fresh. So we're going to do a lot of early substitutions that we're going to plan to do, and we're going to do it. Now, I'm the worst offender of that. I am the worst offender of that. Because if it's third down, I'll look all over and I'll say, why did you put that guy in? What are you doing? This is the most important play of the game, and you got this guy in there that isn't a starter. Well, Coach, you told me that. I say, oh, sure, I'm sorry. That's right. So it forces me to deliver what I say, and stand up from what I say. So you will see early substitutions from the minors throughout the game and throughout these next non-conference games. You'll see a lot of that. Yes. Am I going to play Carson Meager? That's going to be a great example. Yes, he's going to play in this game. And not late. Well, how's our running game looking for this season? It's really looking good so far. Against ourselves, it's been really good. Our offensive line is back. They're fresh. They're sharp. They're blocking well. Brian Natkin's doing a great job. We put in some new plays. We're running a little bit. You'll see it's going to be a different offense than you've seen before. So I think our rushing game, we have really talented backs. You'll see a lot out of them. It's going to be a different look on offense and a different philosophy than you've seen before. And I think rushing the ball is a very important part of that. Say that again. Well, Nate Jeffries is our starting running back. Will we rely on him more than in other years? I want him carrying the ball more than he did last year. I'd like to see him carrying the ball 20 times a game, every game for the rest of the season. But we have very, very good backs that will spell him. And a couple of freshman backs who are really outstanding. So we will get the ball to those backs in other ways than just running the ball. But I'd like to see Nathan Jeffries get the ball 20 times a game, every game. He's that kind of running back. Does Dakota take the first kick in the game? Well, that's a huge question. And we still have 14,000 seats empty for anybody that would like to buy a ticket to come to see who that kicker is going to be. But whoever that kicker is, we'd like to wear his leg out in PATs and kicking off. I want to kick off the most of anybody in the nation this year. And punt the least.
Mike, what about that Saturday night will probably have the most lively environment for a football game since Texas been there?
You just want me to comment on that statement?
A lot of people pretty excited, and for the most part, the atmosphere is
Well, I agree with you, Steve. I think we're going to have the best crowd we've had since the University of Texas game. And that was one of the joys and one of the reasons why we scheduled Oklahoma here, because Bob could do it. And we both talked and said, we got to get something going here. It's not going in the right direction with the enthusiasm and the spirit on campus and in the community. And this gives us a great rallying point for the very first game. Sell out, lots of fun, great activities to go to, budget prices to buy tickets, a good value, and a great seat. There's no bad seat in this house. Great weather, great opponent, best team we've ever had. Perfect weather, all day to prepare, tailgate, and get your mojo back and your fire back in UTEP football. So we plan to see all of you there, I know that. And again, I can't tell you how much we appreciate all your support and the ideas that you've come up with from your companies and what you're doing and how involved you're becoming in this. It's important. And the real great example was just the newspaper this weekend was, in the section on UTEP football was spectacular. The pictures were awesome and the articles were great and the news has been great. And I know that on the radio you guys have been pumping it up for us and we really appreciate it. And I've spoke a lot of Rotary and a lot of Lions clubs, and again, like I said, we had a lot of things where we go with the players. We're settling down a little bit and doing our job more now this week, but it's going to be fun. It's going to work out great. We got one last question right here. Yes, I think I've given that to you before. My pregame locker speech is going to be, so I memorized that, and so I think the deal was that what the first 10,000 people, Bob, into the stadium are going to receive. What are any special thing this week? The first 100,000 people into the stadium the first 10,000 people. Excuse me. The first 10,000 people into the stadium Saturday night get phone picks. The first 22 in the stadium got a start. Okay, thanks.